In this video, I'm going to talk about why there can be such intense emotions when we start to work with our body. This is a question that many have asked, and so I wanted to just bring it up, bring it out in the open, especially as we're starting these exercises. And this may be an experience that you have. This was one of the common challenges that I mentioned in that video of feeling too much. And oftentimes that is too much fear. But it can also be possible to feel too much sadness or too much anger. And why these intense feelings? The degree of intensity really does reflect the level of imbalance in the nervous system and how much has been stored there that we have effectively been carrying around and just coping with, compensating. And it's a burden that once we tap into it, like there's this enormous release because of the degree of imbalance in the nervous system. Especially with fear, we can call it a vortex even, because fear gets attached to everything then. We are afraid to feel sad because of the intensity of the sadness. We are afraid to feel angry because of the intensity of the anger, and we're afraid that we might say something or do something that is not really what we want to do or might have negative consequences. So fear starts to get attached to everything else. And then a person is not only feeling sadness, but they're feeling fear before the sadness. And so this can be a very confusing situation that develops where a person then really doesn't know what they are feeling at all, because it feels like just this big, confusing, chaotic, messy ball. But they do know that they can't feel certain things, they can't do certain things that would make them feel a certain way, because it literally would feel like they would have too big of a response. They wouldn't be able to hold it together, and so they avoid certain situations. When we start doing the somatic experiencing practicing, that can happen, though when we're working by ourselves, I would consider that a danger zone until you are maybe in the advanced course and have your practice down, have these tools, and so if that were to happen, you would instinctively know what to do and you could respond. But when we're first starting out, especially if you're by yourself, this would be a danger zone and a place that you could get stuck and very overwhelmed. Now, if this happens to you during the course, I do have a separate video on what to do exactly if you experience overwhelm and the freeze, but just know that it will be okay. You have additional support available to you if you want to use those options. If you don't want to use those options yet and just want to wait and see, that would be fine too. I would not continue the modules and the work for a few days, but let things settle. And I would usually give it 3 days just to let things settle. During those 3 days, I think it would usually be okay for you to do some more of the intellectual stuff, watch some of the videos on the nervous system, watch more of the content, do some reading of the articles that I've included. But actual body work, I would not do that at all for at least 3 days after having experienced intense emotional response, just to let your nervous system settle back down before we gently continue the work again. When we have any sign of the freeze happening, that's when the fear has become so much that we get overwhelmed and we can feel that shutting down and collapse in our body. If that happens, go check out my video on what to do if you go into the freeze. Again, just know that it will be okay. We'll just take some time off. You can ask for the additional support if you like, but it's okay. Our goal for this course really is to stay out of the danger zone. And the intense emotional states are a place that many people feel that they have to go to if they're going to get any real work done. And that's not the truth when it comes to somatic experiencing. Our nervous system will do much better and be able to shift faster if we stay out of the danger zone and work with it gently as we grow and bring more health and flexibility into it. So it really is okay that if you're starting to feel like, whoa, this is too much, I really do want you to stop. Really do want you to just push it away and then walk away and give yourself a few days before you come back.